Happening, my friends? What is going on? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin podcast. I am your bro, your homie, your friend, the guy that you always love to sit down and have a good old conversation. I am Arrington Gavin. Welcome. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. Look, the days are on. Look, Christmas was almost here. Christmas is almost here, so I hope you got all your gifts all set and ready under that tree. I hope that you're just, you're not scrambling. I hope you're just chillaxing right now, sitting back, enjoying a great convo with your bro, Arrington Gavin. Look, thank you so much for tuning in. This show is brought to you by Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Rugged is the new smooth. And yes, being as the holiday season, go ahead and treat that bearded gentleman in your life to some amazing products. All you have to do is go to their website at ruggedevo.com, or you can check them out on Amazon.com. I've already said ruggedevo.com, Walmart online, and Etsy. It's a great product. You can follow them on their socials at Rugged Evo. Awesome stuff. Also, thank you so much for tuning in to this brand new show, the show before Christmas. Okay. Um, let's see, what do we have going on? What do we have going on? Uh I the past couple ones I kind of had a quick breathe. I was a little bit under the weather and just had so much stuff going on. So I know you're like, Ayrton, Monday you didn't have anything. Wednesday you didn't have anything. What is the deal? Look, I get tired sometime, y'all. Please take it easy on me. I get tired here and there. But the main thing is, hey, I'm here bringing you some great stories, a lot of stuff to discuss. So much stuff has happened this past week. Um Stories that we're going to be coming across today. Actor Jonathan Majors, found guilty on 2 charges of assault. Also, the state of Colorado has banned Donald Trump off the ballots during the elections. And then also, I'm going to move on to the music side of things about what rapper 21 Savage said. So, we're going to have some great stuff to discuss here on the pod. This show, you see it on the bottom, bringing you new episodes. We hope to try, bring you new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, via podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's iHeart, Spotify, Google, let's see, Stitcher, iHeart, I already mentioned Apple, any podcast platform you can tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast by just typing in our Smooth Club Media and you'll find us there. Also, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube. So if you love to see more visuals of the pod, then go on our YouTube channel, our Smooth Club Media. You can also uh, follow our Facebook page at our Smooth Club Podcast, as well as our Twitter page, or formerly X, formerly known as Twitter, at our Smooth Club Media as well. So again, truly grateful that you continue to tune in to catch some great content. We continue to growing on this platform. As you know, I'm a fairly busy guy, entrepreneur. I run a few businesses as well as work on in media. Continue to grow that platform in media. So a lot of stuff is going on, and you can tell I'm a little congested as well. So bear with me on this one. But I want to start off the first topic about Jonathan Majors, actor Jonathan Majors. It's probably the most talked about conversation and just topic going around right now because Jonathan Majors, he was let's see here. There we go. I'm gonna get that up there. So he was do I really is that too big? Nah, I think that's fine. Jonathan Majors, after all, he was on a winning streak. Okay, I believe last year and earlier this past year, he was in not one but I think like two box office films. One of the films that he was on was the most recent Creed movie. My wife and I saw it. He hell of an actor. I know there's a show called, I think, is it Lovecraft? I think he was on as well, which was, it was canceled, but I heard nothing but huge success about the show. Long story short, he's an amazing actor, and a rising star in Hollywood. And it's sad to see, all this great growth of an individual, 34 years old, still very young. So 34 years old, doing great stuff, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get hit hard with this huge accusation. And the accusation was it was a domestic violence allegation of a previous girlfriend of his. Now, excuse me. Um, the allegation at the time was, oh, it's sad to hear, but you would think you would get kind of taken care of, right? Whether if it's okay, if she's looking for money, if the allegation was even true because it was a previous relationship, like how extreme is this gonna be taken towards? Because the sad thing is, y'all, when it comes in the entertainment industry, even in the sports world, it's you, it's sad to say, but what happens behind closed doors comes to light, and once the public hears about it, then it's over. If it's one, depending on the person, because sometimes, look, one allegation can ruin someone's career, but depending on the status of that individual, it really can just say, oh, okay, well, the victim is probably lying and just trying to get some money out, and so just brush that off. He'll be fine, or that individual will be fine. We'll continue on, whatever. So it was different for this guy because Jonathan Majors, again, was a rising star. He was filmed working for Marvel, Disney. He was uh like I say, he played a great role in the recent Creed movie. Um, what else? What else was he in? I mentioned Lovecraft. Oh man, let me look at actually some of his status while I'm talking about him at the moment. Um, okay. Okay, The Five Bloods, he was in that. Oh, yes, he was. Okay, The Five Bloods, Lovecraft Country. That's what it was. Lovecraft Country, which he received a Emmy Award nomination for that film. Uh, let's see, The Harder They Fall, Creed 3, I mentioned that. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania. Okay, so that's where he was in the recent film, and then he was also going to star in Disney's Loki. Or he made other appearances in Disney's Loki. So he was doing great. Because let me tell you something. Once you enter in that Disney money, that Marvel fan base, you are set. Because let's be honest, all you need to do is play one superhero, and you are good. Okay, you are straight. So that's what he that's the success he was going until these allegations occurred. So now a previous girlfriend that said, hey, look, he abused me. There was some domestic violence. He's the suspect. He's guilty. I want, justice to be served. Now, here's where it gets a little more juicy. His ex-girlfriend was white. Jonathan Majors is black. Now, not trying to make it really a race thing, but it is mentioned, at least in the black community, because, like, look, and I'm not speaking for all, but conversations that circulate around will be like, okay, look, typical successful black man with a white chick, she's out to get his money. I mean, seriously, that's conversations that surface around. Um, it's so full for professional athletes, like I said, entertainers, um, and they will say, like I said, typical, uh you know, hey, she's out to get his money. Because, and let's be honest too, women do have a hard time, and I'm saying all women, not just specific race, but all women have a hard time speaking their mind when it comes to domestic violence, because if it's a civil, then it's like, oh, she's just trying to get money. Is it really truth to it? Blase, blase, blase. So it's hard to always it's hard for women to get their point across through this. But Jonathan Majors, it was a long going investigation. Later on, at one point, I think they could not. There was no evidence to prove, so you assume that okay, he's an innocent man. Good. Then you get further in the trial. Well, during this whole trial, what makes it even more interesting? Okay, Jonathan's already broken up with this ex-girlfriend that's now suing him, putting all his business out there. So during this process, during this whole allegation criminal process, guess who he starts to date? Actress Megan Good, which is interesting because Megan Good is coming off of a divorce from a gentleman. I think his name is Devin Franklin, who is a TV producer, director, media personnel, minister. I think he's an ordained pastor or minister. Young guy, very good looking, very sharp. Um, but and they made a beautiful couple. Don't get me wrong, they made a beautiful couple, but it didn't work out because at the end of the day, okay, if is this man a goody two shoe, like very like a clean cut guy, and he was trying to make a success in the Hollywood world by preaching the gospel through his work, and then you marry someone like Megan Good, who again is never had any never had any skeletons, no baggage. Again, actress since she was a kid, we've watched her grow up, but Megan always had a little exotic with her, right? Like she was basically the wife of a pastor, and she was wearing some scandalous stuff on red carpets. I caught her a couple times. She was wearing some like, okay, first lady, should you be wearing like it was hard. How do you balance the two different lives, right? So long story short, that didn't work out. I think they were married for maybe 7 years. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But she was just, finishing up. I don't even know if the divorce is even finalized, but they had split. And they started dating. She started dating Jonathan Majors. Now the question is, girl, you're bold because you're dating a man who currently is like talk of the news, but for the not for the right reason, for the wrong reason, because that is domestic abuse. So it's like, wow, you're taking a risk on dating a potential abuser. Maybe she saw something that the public didn't see. Obviously, she probably saw the heart. She's like, hey, look, I know you're innocent. She stuck with him, and she's still stuck with him to this day. But during this case, texts have been put out in the public in court. Videos had surfaced on social media, and it showed Jonathan. It looked like he was trying to push his girlfriend at the time back into the car, and then he got out and he ran. It literally shows them both running in New York City streets. He's running away from her, and she's running towards him, which to me is like, okay, that's the innocent man. She crazy. Case closed, right? It's over. It's over. But more more stuff had surfaced. Now, I forgot to mention during this whole process, like right when the first allegations was put out to the public, um Jonathan Majors was it was several weeks after he was arrested, because at the time uh um he was arrested. This was let me see. I'm gonna try and look at my do, 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 do. Okay, it says March of 2023 he was arrested on assault, strangulation, and harassment charges stemming from a domestic dispute with his then girlfriend, who sustained minor injuries in her head and neck and was removed to an area hospital in stable condition, according to the NYPD. Now, at the during that day, he was released from custody that day, and his spokesperson denied the allegation, saying Majors had done nothing wrong. He quoted, "We look forward to clearing his name and clearing this up." Now, on March 26th, Majors was arraigned in a New York City criminal court on the charges. Again, criminal. Now, Majors' attorney revealed that there were 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. Now, on March 30th, uh, released text messages alleged sent by his ex-girlfriend. One message stated that they said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me, and then and they knew we had a fight. All right, keep that in mind. We, meaning not just him, but her as well. I'm so angry that they did, and I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I only just got out the hospital. I only just got out the hospital. While another message said, I reiterated how this was not an attack and they do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation, and I said point blank, this did not occur and should be removed immediately. All right. That's the first thing. Now, it says also his girlfriend was granted a temporary order of protection by the judge against Majors ahead of May 9th court date. So, where did all this change up to her? Because she already basically said, hey, look, I told him it was my fault. I didn't want them to arrest you. This was protocol, blah, 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 blah. Point blank, she wanted them to remove all that stuff immediately. So again, this is all about is an argument between a couple that ends up into a physical altercation, right? Not a verbal, but a physical altercation, which is a no-no. Now, fellas, for those who are listening or watching on this podcast, please, please, please. Now, look, I'm not Jesus. I'm no leader. If I'm not, you don't have to listen with anything I say. At least, hear me out. Whatever happens, you should never, I don't care what the situation, you should never lay your hands on a female. I don't care if they slapped you first or if they're hitting you. Walk away, dude. Walk away, or excuse me, walk away. And if she chases you, call the cops while they chasing you, or call your female friend so she can defend you. But you should never place your hands on a female. The the point where Jonathan Majors messed up was the fact is the altercation between the two individuals, there was only one person that had signs of uh uh what's the word, had signs of injuries, and that was his girlfriend. One, because if you've seen Jonathan Majors, the man is yoked as hell. He is in shape. He is a lot bigger. He has a lot of muscle mass. So if you use his man strength on his girlfriend, you would easily see it. And on top of that, she's white, bruises easily. So again, you messed up in that sense. But here's my thing that I have issue with. If both of them should be held accountable, not just one, because obviously there's proof and evidence that in the text is that she uh took the blame of the first altercation that they arrested. Now, this was before they had showed the I think either this wasn't before, but they did show uh uh him running from her in the streets of New York City. Now, when that occurred, I'm not sure of when if that was after or before the officers had arrested him from the home. That could have been a prior incident, but it just, to me, this screams out like this guy was trying to get away from her. He was trying to avoid her. But again, Jonathan, you can't put your hands on a female. And when those cops came to the house, you look like the guilty one. And I mean, in the wake of his arrest, he got dropped from his as a client from both his management company and his PR firm. Come on. You telling me your PR firm couldn't even defend you that quick? Which is, to me, it's they weren't the right ones for you in the get-go. Now, again, they probably see, well, it's not looking good for you, so I'm not being a part of this. But usually PR firms, management companies, they're there to represent you in any incident. They're not just representing you to uh what's good for your bank. Well, what's going to help you financially. No, they're there to protect your image, your brand. So they weren't your friends from the get-go. Now, they let him go before more evidence was even brought out. Now, again, to them, being that they're professionals, they probably say, "Hey, look, this is not going to be a good look. So we just going to end this off real quick because obviously it's not going to work." But excuse me, I just, I really, I really think that this could have been prevented. I wish it was prevented because, like I said, as an actor, the actor Jonathan Majors, huge fan. The man is a tremendous actor and a rising star. And again, he's 34 years old. He can recover. He can recover. Hell, Sean Connery, the old James Bond, there were allegations of domestic violence. Jim Brown, the late Jim Brown, late great Hall of Fame football player and great actor of domestic violence. There it's there are known entertainers and actors that have had these allegations. They have just never it hasn't gone as advanced as it is for Jonathan Majors. As far as, hey, Jonathan Majors, since then he's been found guilty on 2 charges. They said, I think the court system said he could basically serve up to, I believe, a year in jail. I'm not sure what the what it will say. Okay, found guilty on 1 count of reckless assault in the 3rd degree and charge of harassment as a violation. Now, he was acquitted on another charge of assault and 1 aggravated assault. They said his sentencing will begin in 2024, February of 2024. So again, he could be sentenced up to a year. I'm unaware of how the court system could occur for that, but um it's unfortunate. And since, as you see the article right now, he's been fired from Disney amid the assault verdict. He still has his girlfriend Megan Good still with him. Is she gonna stay with them after this? Is it gonna work out? We will see. Again, it's to I think to the culture, right? To black folks, I'm pretty sure that women, men, and again, this is surfacing around. I'm not saying this is this is what every black person is saying, but it's surfacing around that, hey, look, you are on trial and accused from your ex-girlfriend who's a white girl, and now you're walking in trials and cases with your new black girlfriend. Like, they're supposed to, no, too late. And some people are thinking Megan Good is a fool for dating this guy, for sticking with him. But again, is it what kills you makes you stronger? Is this gonna get their relationship stronger? Is this gonna mess her career up? Because hey, Megan Good is the star of a hit TV show on Prime called Harlem, which just got renewed for another season. So is this gonna affect her fan base? I don't know. I don't know. But I tell you one thing, I will be talking more about Jonathan Majors on my radio show in your city, along with my along with the crew, along with the fam, comedian Ciroc Fox, Hustle Queen, Michelle Young, and our producer Cam Godley. We're gonna share about this on that show as well as on our podcast. But again, we will see. Before we end this conversation, if you're just now tuning into this show, I just finished talking about and sharing my thoughts on the outcome, the verdict of the case involving actor Jonathan Majors and his ex-girlfriend, because his ex-girlfriend had accused him and sued him for domestic violence and assault. And Jonathan Majors has since been found guilty on 2 charges. He will be sentenced February 6th of 2024. It's saying that he could face up to a year, maybe more. We don't know. But he has since been fired by Disney, dropped by his PR firm and his management company as well. His management firm. So, just thoughts and prayers on both parties in this situation, because it's unfortunate. In all honesty, both of them should be held accountable. Both. There was a altercation between 2 individuals, not just, he's not the whole guilty victim. Like, both of them were guilty because they were fighting each other. It's hard to say who started it, but you heard me read the text. That was when he at first got arrested. So that's just my 2 cents. But to listen more about Jonathan Majors, be sure to tune into my weekly radio show in your city. Airs every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSP 91.1 FM. You can also tune into In Your City on podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. All you have to do is just, again, go to Arts Food Club Media, and you will find us on all platforms. Now, moving on to the political scene. Let me get so former President Donald Trump making headlines because he was the Colorado Colorado had just ruled in favor of banning Colorado Supreme Court. Yeah. Colorado Supreme Court, Colorado. Yeah. The judges out in Colorado. it's hard to get it out. They had issued they had basically banned Donald Trump, removing him from the ballots in Colorado. Now, let me fix that up a little bit for you. The reason for this, hold on, let me fix this up so it won't like y'all getting dizzy. The reason that he has been banned from the ballots out in Colorado, the reason was saying for his interference with the January 6th insurrection, inciting a riot, basically, is what they're saying. Now, excuse me, the state of Colorado is what you can call a blue state. And what I mean by blue state is a fairly Democratic run state. A lot of their higher uppers are Democrats. They're outnumbered by Democrats, and it's a very blue state. Now, and let me pull up my notes if I can get it. What had happened on January 6th where almost a thousand individuals bum rush the state capitol unannounced, trespassing, vandalizing property, uh causing or forcing uh state officials to federal officials to duck and cover and take shelter because God knows what could have occurred. It was one of the most dangerous events of our time. I still can't. I'm still. It's like it was yesterday. Like I remember heading back home, and it's like you're watching Olympus Has Fallen. Like you just see swarms of people like little ants swarming the Capitol building. And prior to when that occurred, Donald Trump had a speech where he was speaking with a lot of his fan base and cult like following. And his words was fairly aggressive. And you could say like his words was basically shit starting. Okay. It was adding gasoline to in the fire. And he said, hey, he was using terms, I believe, like, uh, we're gonna head down there, kick down the doors, or, uh, uh, I mean, he was saying basically to, we're gonna get in their face, we're gonna force them, we're gonna make them, you know, do what we say, in a sense, and he it till this day, for people to defend him and say he had nothing to do with it, the argument is this that I always bring up. Was Trump in that building when everybody was vandalizing and all that? No, he wasn't. He wasn't anywhere. He was not walking along with them while they did that. But he did ignite. He did incite a riot. He added gasoline to that fire, y'all. And here's why I say this. Every public figure with a cult like following, and when I mean by cult like following, I mean if I was a very, very famous individual that had fans that will literally do whatever I say. If I told them, hey, you need to start wearing two left boots because it's in style, and they will wear it, that's a cult like following. If I say that my diet of staying healthy is by eating red meat all day, every day, no vegetables, and people will do that, that's a cult like following. Former President Donald Trump has a cult like following. And the sad thing is, the ones that happen to be at that Capitol were the very, very, very ignorant ones, the ones that probably don't have a lot of teeth in their mouth, the ones that probably think that he's their savior that will lead them to rich and prosperity. No, they were the very ignorant ones that listened to whatever he said. And the fact that he said that, and they did it, okay? They did it, and they vandalized the hell out of the state capitol, and almost 600 of them, maybe a little over, had got sentenced to jail because they broke the freaking law. Now, I still, to this day, I'm like, okay, let that would have been some black people, it would have been a lot of bloodshed out there, because shoot, don't get me started trying to trespass. Man, they would have mopped the floor with us. But the interesting thing is, to this day, former President Donald Trump will say that though they're political prisoners, they were speaking there. That was their constitutional right to do that, and they're getting charged. And he still defends them. So now, hey, look, Colorado said, all right, we got something to shut him up. We're gonna ban him from our ballots, so that when it's time to vote, he ain't even gonna be on the ballot, which is gonna hurt him because Colorado is a very big state and a very important state. But now here's how the table is going to be turning, y'all. And this one might be frustrating some voters out there. I don't think that's quite fair for what Colorado did. I don't think that's quite fair. And the reason why I don't think that's quite fair is because I don't think that states should interfere with basically voters' choice. Right now, Donald Trump is leading the polls, of course, on the as the Republican nominee, and hell, even as all the presidential candidates. He's above current President Joe Biden at the moment. A lot of people want Donald Trump. Okay, he has a following. People want to see him as the next president. It kills me to say it because God knows I don't want to see that man in office again. But the polls say otherwise. As of right now, the polls say differently. It doesn't look good when I go back to a majority blue state banning a Republican candidate from their ballot. It looks like it's some it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It looks like they're doing their best to prevent him from all. And again, Colorado is not just Democratic voters in that state. You have people that should have the right to choose whichever candidate they want to. And again, I will say this. I don't think it's quite fair to ban him from the ballot. Now, I would love, and I'll have some of my friends that work in politics, and I'll have them, friends on whatever side of the aisle to get their opinion on that. And like I said, I'm probably frustrating some people when I say this, but I don't think it's it's a fair thing to do. If it was a candidate that I liked, that got banned, I wouldn't feel appreciated for it. Now, again, their reason is for what had happened in January 6th. And for that, I do think he had help cause the riot. I do think that. I'll take that to the grave. So that being said, if that's their reason to do so, if that's their way of saying no, in consequence, but there still really haven't been in the court system wise. There really haven't been, like, he hasn't been charged or anything. It's just really just accusations. It's people saying this stuff, right? But realistically, I mean, I'm just going based on what Arrington saw. I'm like, it looked like he started that thing, or at least helped start it. But I'll ask you, the listeners that's tuning into this podcast, do you think it's fair for Trump to get banned by the ballot? Or, hey, if he got to lose fair and square. Or if he win fair and square. Like, is this a fair and square kind of political race, or is just, some kind of, like, corruption going on right now? I want to get your thoughts on it. So please DM me at Arrington Gavin on IG. You can leave a comment at the bottom on our YouTube page. I'll probably make a comment or post something on our Twitter page. We will see. Let's see here. I'm gonna be moving on because I'm getting tired of talking about Trump. Actually, I'm not. I love talking about politics. I love talking about politics. I enjoy talking about it all the time. I have one more convo I'm gonna be bringing up to y'all, but I think I'm gonna go with it in a quick commercial break. Let me see which commercial I'm gonna whip up for y'all. Yeah. So when we come back, I'm gonna do a quick commercial break. But when we come back, I'm gonna talk about, hey, what rapper 21 Savage basically just said in defense of rapper Young Thug. We'll be back with more of the Arrington Gavin podcast. Was goody, was goody, was goody. Shout out to Ingenious Gen. Ingenious Gen, I'm about to sip me some Ingenious Gen a little later. Uh Black owned, veteran owned Rose Gold Gin. Very good, very good. I hope to have some of the owners on the pod soon. But I want to bring up the final story that I thought was quite interesting. Um Rapper 21 Savage, 21. I just, yeah, I feel like you gotta say that when you say 21 Savage, 21. 21 Savage, uh, he said that basically a lot of his raps, okay, a lot of his raps are not real. A lot of his raps that he been spitting and all that, a lot of it is not real. So not too long ago, Fat Joe was on King Charles, a new weekly CNN show hosted by Gail King, journalist Gail King, and NBA Hall of Famer and NBA analyst Charles Barkley. It's a new show called King Charles. It's pretty interesting. It's I don't know where on me. I'll talk a little more about my thoughts on how CNN is trying to really grow their network and with these new shows. I'll talk about that on another show. But as of right now, recently Fat Joe was on there and they were talking about rapper Young Thug, who is now still on trial for this Rico trial. And the trial has since used lyrics from his songs, uh lyrics from his songs, uh basically as evidence of, that, hey, he committed this crime. Listen to the lyrics in his music. He says it right there. And it's being used in a Rico trial. So Fat Joe, in defense of Young Thug, Fat Joe said, look, I've lied on 95% of my raps. Okay? 90 in my career, I've lied 95% of my raps. So whatever you hear in my songs, that shit didn't really happen. And now 21 Savage also is saying the same exact thing. He's like, look, a lot of my songs are not true. Now you can argue these guys are just saying that just to save their tail, to save some jail time, because maybe something might resurface and somebody might make an allegation or something might come up and be like, hey, you remember that old case we brought up against this gentleman? Well, let's bring that back because now they're using evidence on their music and we can make work something. So that's probably why a lot of these rappers are trying to defend themselves and say, hey, look, these are not really true. Now the question is, why do rappers then lie so hard in their music? Because here's my thing. Hip hop is one of the most money generated genres of like currently right now. There's pop, excuse me. There is pop and then you have hip hop. And hip hop can, depending on which avenue, it can be promoting sex, it could be promoting drugs, it could be promoting late night partying, it can be promoting gun violence, it could be promoting gang activities, it can be promoting so much stuff that's not really positive for the community. Now, some of them can be beneficial and be more of community activists and uplifting the community, uplifting youth, right? Guys like excuse me, what's oh my Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Common, uh uh man, they're so, I mean, A Tribe Called Quest. You go to the old uh group of what is the Lord have mercy. Now I'm not about to mess up on the Public Enemy. Public Enemy. So you have so many, feel a sneeze coming on y'all, my bad. I told you I was struggling with these sinuses. Ooh. Um there's people that do make great music that is, yes, they're telling the story what happens in the community, but we also will tell you a story on how we can overcome it and how we can make the change for it. But you have these like new rappers now that are all about building these so-called characters, these brands saying, look, I'm hard, I'm this and that. And it's not helping because I'll be honest, man. In the past like few years, we've seen so many young rappers losing their lives off of nonsense, man. Like getting killed broad daylight. Like it's just sad. It's really, really sad because these are extremely talented brothers and sisters out here, but they're either promoting making their body doing all the talking. Because I'll be honest, you got Meg, that's one of the leading female rappers. You got Nicki, you got Lotto, you got Cardi B, Sexy Red. I'll be honest, man. There's not a time where none of them is shaking their they twerking. They just they everything is all about sex, 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 sex. And they like Megan is always twerking. She's all like that girl must have a great physical therapist or she wears copper fit. Like she's always getting on, squatting, doing her doing her twerking, all that stuff. All that stuff. That's what she always do. Now look, I'll be stupid to say as a guy, does that stuff, is it attractive sometimes? Yeah, hey, I'm a guy, I'm human. But it again, what is the message being across? Is that literally all you're doing is saying, okay, look, I'm making money off my body because sex sells, or do I really want to show people a positive message with my music? So again, I know I'm speaking a lot and speaking crazy, but that's the point of having this conversation with me because I'm just ranting off right now. Rappers now, why is it that if that's the case with Fat Joe and 21 Savage, was 21 I don't really listen too much of 21 Savage, but I know he's very popular. And he does great things in his community as well. But like why lie? Because there's young people that thinks that's true and then they try to repeat that and they try to copy off that and do that in real life and then they get themselves in a situation where either getting locked up or losing their life or getting involved in the wrong crowd. So why is it that you lie about it? Is it because that's what's the money grabber? That's what people want to see, because you do have executives that say, "Hey, look, we're gonna pay you this million because we want you to give that hardcore vibe, right?" They have executives that will grab somebody and be like, "Okay, look, we're gonna change your whole image right now, and we're just gonna this is the what we're gonna do to you." That is true, but again, if you have a more of a saying in how you want your brand to be, then why build up a lie? Like Fat Joe, not now. Fat Joe, his music is always great vibing. Fat Joe's a businessman. A lot of them turn out to be businessmen. The older they get, they're businessmen. Cube, um, Fat Joe, Snoop, LL Cool J, Nelly, 50, Diddy. I mean, Diddy kind of got some. I mean, I don't know why I brought him up, but hey, so there's so many of them that Jay-Z. I mean, come on, crazy ass Kanye. I mean, he became a billionaire. Still is, I think, a billionaire. So it's like you can do so much, but it's just an interesting conversation. I think I might also bring this on the radio show as well. But yeah, man, like why build up that character? Why 95%? No, if I will when I make it big for being, doing what I do now here on media, or whether if it's here on any of my businesses, I want them to see all of me and everything to be true, nothing false. So what you see is what you get, y'all. What you see is what you get out of Arrington. This is all me, baby. This is all me. Huh. Just had to get had to get that off. I'm like on a Christmas Christmas drink kick right now. I'm over here, making my Christmas ciders and little cocktails and everything. So I'm tasting these little testers. So when you saw me sipping, I was sipping on a hot cider and then sipping on a cocktail I made. So just enjoying myself. Just enjoying myself. So look, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this conversation. I'm not gonna stay for long because, like I said, it is the holiday season. This is basically our last show until the holidays. So I hope you all truly, truly have a safe weekend. If you haven't finished your Christmas shopping, please get that out the way and be careful doing it because people out here, they are they are crazy out here. I've witnessed like at least 2 accidents happen late at night because Christmas shopping, man. Everybody's like, oh, I gotta get this, I gotta get that. So yeah, y'all just be careful out there. Stay safe. I hope you and your family have an amazing, amazing Christmas. I know this is some hard times we're living on right now. Cost of living is continuing to increase. Everything is expensive. But I truly, truly, truly hope that you all have a memorable, enjoyable Christmas with your family. Share a bunch of laugh, traditions, eat some great food, enjoy some great drinks. I hope y'all get everything y'all asked for, y'all. I know I am because at the end of the day, I know that there's people out there that continue to support the Arrington Gavin podcast, which I know y'all could be doing anything y'all can. There's so many great shows out there in podcasts, but you take out the time out your schedule to tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast. So again, I truly appreciate it. Be sure again to tune into new shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube at R Smooth Club Media, Facebook, and Twitter. X, formerly known as Twitter. I will not be doing a episode on the upcoming Monday because it is Christmas Day. I will be spending time with my familia. Okay, I will be spending time with my family, my loved ones. I will not be chopping it up. I might go on IG Live. I might. But yeah, I will be enjoying myself most of the time with my beautiful family. And I hope you do the same as well. Also, do me a favor, chime in the upcoming this Sunday to In Your City, a weekly radio show I host every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSB 91.1 FM, the soul of VA. If you are not in the Hampton Roads area and you can't find us on your radio dial, it's okay. You can go, there's 2 other ways. You can either listen by going to WNSB.org online, or you can download the free app, the WNSB app, to listen live from there. I truly appreciate it. Love you guys. Y'all have peace and blessings. But until next time, I am out.